Hello, and thank you for tuning in to this e-learning webinar, Take 5 on Financial Fraud Affecting Charities, created as part of the International Charity Fraud Awareness Week. This week brings together everyone involved in the charity and non-for-profit sectors to raise awareness and share good practice in tackling fraud and financial crime. We encourage you to share this video and any of our other resources with your colleagues. So who am I? I'm Tony Blake. I'm Head of Fraud Prevention for the Dedicated Card and Payment Crime Unit, or the DCPCU. Now this is a police unit. It works closely with the financial sector, and in fact it's sponsored by financial services. So lots of banks and building societies and card issuers pay for a police unit. And my role on that is to work and educate customers of banks, which is most of us of course, and the bank staff around the types of fraud which are affecting their customers. So where do criminals get our details? There are lots of places where criminals get our details, and far too many to mention on this particular section right now, but I wanted to just sort of highlight a few of them. The few of the places that they get them, and they will get them about your particular organisation. You've probably got a website where you're quite helpfully providing lots of information. You're probably part of the Charity Commission's website, and there's information about your particular charity or organisation on that. They may be on that, or on Companies House. There'll be lots of information. So what I'm saying is that there is lots and lots of what we call open source information about your charity, your organisation, the people involved in it, available to the general public, and that means it's potentially or will be available to fraudsters if they decide to target your particular organisation. And what can we do about that? Not a lot is the answer to that. In today's society, we put information out there for the good of others, and fraudsters just take advantage of that. And so we have to put information out there that's accepted. So my message to you is actually just be aware of the information you've got out there. I'm not saying don't put it out there. I'm just saying just be aware of what information you have out there about your particular charity, because it could be used against you at some point by fraudsters. Social engineering. I want to talk a little bit about the term social engineering and what it is. Now, most fraud involves some element of social engineering, and I like the definition that's on this particular slide: the clever manipulation of the natural human tendency to trust. And the most important word in that sentence is trust. And the sort of organisations that you are, charities and non-profit organisations, there is an awful lot of trust involved, and the people that work in them are by and large very trusting, and because they're the sort of people that are attracted to work in them is my guess. So what is in fact social engineering? It's effectively using the trust that already exists, or the ability for the fraudster to gain trust in order to get more information or to get someone to do something. This is often done sophisticatedly, and this is often done over a period of time. So it's been around for centuries. It's someone tricking you into getting something. And social engineering can be as simple as, yes, they've gone onto your website, or they've gone onto the Charity Commission's website, got a little bit of information, they want some more, so they telephone you, they email you, and they pretend to be someone that they're not. They pretend to be someone interested in your charity, but actually what they're interested in doing is getting more information in order that later they can target you for some sort of fraud. Again, very difficult, because you want to be helpful to people. You can't challenge everyone as you may at home as an individual. You want to be helpful and give that information, but just be aware this is something that fraudsters will do. They will use these social engineering techniques in order to get more information from you. Some of the frauds, let's look at some of the frauds that are affecting charities at the moment. I've particularly highlighted what we call impersonation fraud. Now, this can be done over the telephone, via phishing emails, or even spoofing text messages. And I know that others are going to be talking about phishing emails later. But the latest fraud figures released by UK Finance received that impersonation fraud is actually up 130% on what they call non-personal accounts. So that's all business type frauds, and of course charity frauds will be inclusive in that. So it's a big thing, and that's where someone contacts an organisation pretending to be from the bank or the police or HMRC or BT, basically someone they're not. And it can, as I say, it can take the form of phishing email or text spoofing. And a particular one I want to highlight is mandate fraud or invoice fraud. Now, this is also another form of where they contact, your organisations, pretend to be, say, a supplier or someone that's involved in you, and says, can you pay us? And this is our bank details. We've changed them. Here's the change of bank details. Can you pay us on this? And of course, the message with that is you have to be absolutely, if you're contacted by any organisation you're dealing with and they're telling you that actually their bank details are changed, you need to check that. Verify absolutely everything. Make sure that you've got that you've done it over the phone via someone that you know, and double check it. Don't rely on an email or a telephone call from someone that you don't know and you can't confirm it. So that's sort of what I want to talk about mandate fraud next time. So best practice, Take 5 campaign. You've got links to the Take 5 campaign via the resources that you've got. The new messaging is all about stop, challenging, protecting. A bit what I've talked about there. Challenge everything, particularly when it comes to financial. Verify absolutely everything in order to protect yourself. And education is key. Educate everybody in the organisation, because the weakest link is potentially someone who doesn't aware of these things. You've always got a weakest link into the organisation by someone. So everybody needs to know how they can protect the organisation from fraud. So thank you for listening. Please remember to check out all of the free resources that's available, including the Take 5 created as part of this week, which are available via the online hub, because together we can keep charity fraud out.